Welcome to New Realities. I'm Alan Steinfeld, and this program is about the evolution of our consciousness, and that's why I have with me today Shelly Sulivan. She's a holistic teacher of body, mind, but she's had an awakening. She's had an activation of her light body, of her physical body, of her consciousness, and that's what we're going to talk to her today about. Thank you, Shelly, for being here.
My pleasure. I'm so happy to be here.
You are really bringing a beautiful gift to the world with these advanced teachings. But what happened to you? Tell us, like, how you got activated, how you became a light worker, a light being.
Okay. Well, first of all, I remembered that I'm a master at manifestation.
Yes.
And that's where my journey began and how I manifested winning the lottery.
Oh, yeah. Tell us that story, how you, because winning the lottery was a kind of awakening for you, wasn't it?
That was the beginning of my journey.
Okay, tell me. So,
well, I was shown through technology to play the lottery.
When you say technology, what do you mean?
I was watching my TV, and I had shut all the power off my TV while I was folding laundry. And as I walked away and had shut everything down, I realized that something stayed up on the TV. Something stayed on the screen. And I looked back, and it was Lotto 649-777. So I'm like, if that's not a sign, I don't know what is.
Okay.
And that led me to not question this guidance, but follow it. And it led me on a 9-month journey of manifesting in nature. And I manifested winning the lottery.
You won the lottery?
Yeah.
Because, and how did that, I mean, you won some amount. You didn't win 40 million.
It was a $49 million jackpot.
Right.
And I went out consistently for 9 months, guided by my higher self. It wasn't something I read to do or planned. I just did it every day because it felt good. Right. And each week and month that went by, my vibration just raised higher and higher until I got to the point where I knew I was going to win the day that I won.
You knew the right numbers because you were in touch. And then
I was manifesting. I was going out into the nature, the forest, which I call my church.
Yes.
And I was actually speaking to the universe words with my desires and dreams. And then I further felt them and thought them. And it just escalated from there.
So the lottery was a display of your own manifestation powers. And then what was activating you the whole time? What was,
my connection with source, higher self, and nature. That's what activated this propelling my manifestation to come into the physical.
And then since then, you felt all this energy in your body, right?
Yeah, I went into, felt like a very high dimension where I could feel every cell in my body awake and vibrating at the same level as plants, bugs, everything around me. It's like I became one with that.
And how can we do that? What do you recommend? How can we activate our own being?
Well, to get into the higher vibrations, you have to become one with nature and raise your vibration by dissolving fear and old programming.
Right.
So when you get to that point and you just believe, you have to believe in yourself. Right. And I kept following the guidance, and eventually I called my sister the day that I won. Like I said, every cell in my body was vibrating very high frequency with what I wanted to manifest. And I called her, my sister Sheila, and I said, Sheila, I know today's the day I'm going to win. So I went into the store, left the forest, went into the store with my numbers, and the store owner came out, and he knew of me because I was going in for 9 months weekly with my tickets. And he said, Shelly, did you look at your ticket today? And I said, no. And he said, they're identical, the first 5 numbers of Lotto 649, and you're only 1 number off from the last number. So, of course, I thought I won millions.
Right.
And I waited for the lottery company to call in, and then they explained to me that I had won $6,700 out of the $49 million. Right. So at first, I kind of felt, what? I thought I would win at least 350. So I went back into the forest to just absorb what had transpired, and I realized that I just did something miraculous. I just realized that I can manifest anything.
Right.
So the one thing I didn't do when I was putting out my dreams in word form as well as thought and feeling, I never said how much I wanted to win.
You just said you wanted to win the lottery.
And that's what I won.
Oh, I see. So that's a lesson. You have to be really
specific
about what you want when you're manifesting.
Yes,
so,
definitely.
Okay, so you won the lottery, but you didn't win the $49 million.
Yeah, which is a really good thing, because had I won the money, I wouldn't have kept going further on my spiritual journey and to take me into spiritual teaching like what I do now.
So are you being worked with guides? Are you feel like these non-physical beings are guiding you?
Yeah, I can see the non-physical beings.
You can see them?
Not all the time, but they show up when need be. It's the higher frequency of the diamond angelics.
Right.
And the reason I call them diamond is their beings are, the color frequency of them are so high. It's like a diamond cut multi-dimensional being, whether it's a rainbow colors or white diamond silver, and they appear for me.
And what messages do they have for us, you and us? And the planet?
Raising love and light.
Right.
Yeah.
But you are someone who's taking us from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. Talk about that. Talk about how this is happening, what you think is going on.
Okay, for me, when I was born from higher dimensions, like we all are. But by the time I was 7 years old, I had learned to suppress the higher dimensions because I just wasn't fitting in physically.
Yes.
And so I did that, suppressed it for many, many years. And then eventually I was reactivated again by source sun beams of light coming in through my third eye.
Oh, when did that happen?
I think it was June 2010-ish.
Right.
Yeah.
And so one day these beams of light just activated your third eye?
Actually, I went to a spiritual retreat and met up synchronistically with a psychic shaman healer. And she could feel out what I guess my guides were asking her that I should do. And she had me stand in a star position and say, I am 3 times. I am, really strongly, those words. And that's where a beam of light, first orange beam of light, came through my third eye. And it was red. And I could feel the electricity go through me like people were watching, and it jolted me. I almost fell over.
Wow.
And I still have the etheric scar from the beams of light.
It's actually a physical scar.
It is, yes.
Yeah, I see it.
I love it. It's a great reminder to remember who I am, multidimensional.
So what does it mean to live in the fifth dimension to you? What the third dimension is this realm, it's where we live, the physical body. And the fourth dimension is what? The emotional body?
Yeah, it is the emotional body. And the fifth is more where the things that happen beyond what you can see with your physical eye, what you can see with your third eye and feel. So our 5 senses are very limited. Now, when you go into the fifth dimension, there's no limits. And what opens up for you is seeing the higher dimensional beings, telepathy with all other beings, as well as remembering your teleportation.
Teleportation, talk about that. What do you mean? You've had a teleporting experience.
Yeah, I teleport often, but I'm not always shown to remember it.
So talk about what that means to teleport. You're not teleporting with your physical body, are you?
It's a spiritual body, as far as I know, but it's very close to your physical body because when you come back into your body, it's like you can feel it.
So what happens when you teleport? Like, how do you say, go through the process.
I've had 2 experiences that I remember clearly of teleportation. The first one was I was in a gateway concrete vortex. The best way I can describe it is it was a concrete gateway, and I was there with my twin flame, who I didn't know at the time what a twin flame was. And we were in this gateway surrounded by light beings.
This was on a psychic level, not
it was on a multidimensional level. So I was in sleep state,
but
it was a real experience. So we were surrounded by many light beings, which later I found out some of them were Melchizedek, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Michael. They were different colored beings of light, and they were instructing us on how to be in the present moment. That was what we had to learn and be coached on, and also to help us with our mission, why we're here on Earth. And then at some point when we got that information, we were teleported back into our physical body, which has gone through like a tunnel of light at light speed, but enough where I could feel it, and then I came back into my body and woke up to the experience.
So you felt like a part of your consciousness was someplace else?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And where was that?
That was in Mount Shasta, the gateway.
Oh, so you actually teleported to Mount Shasta and then came back.
Met with my angelic family, which is the archangels and ascended masters. And came
actually,
back.
You have an angelic name that came to you. Tell us about that.
It's Seishore Grace.
Seishore Grace is what you kind of downloaded.
Yes, actually, it was a download transmission from Source Creator, And I went through major spiritual awakening in the past many years, and as of September 29th, I think I completed a big part of my mission where they, in a sense, rewarded me or gifted me the name, and then they downloaded into me as a transmission of light codes of why I was given this name and all the history behind it, and that it's pronounced Se Shor Ray.
What is the history?
The history is just how I've handled everything on earth with such grace and got myself to this point of my mission, where I'm actually fully on my mission, one with my higher self. My higher self is merged into me, and we are working as one.
So what is the mission then?
The mission is to actually help the world with ascension, also to help the world with the new fifth dimensional template of love, which differs very much from the three-dimensional template. Also helping people who realize that they do have twin flames on how to successfully come together, and or if they're not together, work with their third energy, which is a powerful creation of energy.
But talk in this sense about the electromagnetic field and why that's so important, especially as we start to ascend to these other levels. The patterns of electromagnetic frequencies are shifting as well.
Oh, definitely.
So
this is all cutting edge information that I have gathered over my personal experiences in the past 3 or 4 years. Since 2012, the New Earth was created. The split had taken place, which I actually witnessed and helped out with the grid work.
What do you mean the split? Tell me about that.
So the New Earth was first formed around the old Earth as a holographic copy. And then once it was finished its gestation period, I guess, eventually it was good to go and split from the old Earth.
What is the old Earth and what is the new Earth then?
The old Earth is a very dense Earth of old programming and structures.
Are there people still living there?
Yeah, we all are, but we can choose to go to the new higher frequency of the new Earth.
You mean like people like Donald Trump are living on the old Earth?
Yeah.
But he's still in this reality.
Yes.
So how does that work then? There's people. Is it going to be like even more accelerated? So those that are of the old world can't maintain the new frequency?
Oh, definitely. You got it. Yeah.
And then what do you see? So the new Earth is evolving and ascending. And
so what happens from there? We spoke about the new electromagnetic field.
yes.
So us light workers, and especially twin flames, when they do come together as one spirit, which is what they originated from, one spirit, and the twin flames are back on Earth in this lifetime to come back into one. And it's not an easy task. It's very challenging, so I'll be helping to teach about that. But as individual twin flames, or when you're back into one spirit, you're a powerhouse of light around the Earth grid. And the light workers as well are the same thing. They're powerhouses of light. And we are maintaining and sustaining this high light that is replacing the old electromagnetic.
Oh, so the old
field.
electromagnetic field kept the Earth at a particular density.
Yes.
And as that magnetic field shifts, it's increasing the density, but it's split. So there's the old frequency that's still being maintained for those who want to live there in that density, and then there's the people evolving with the new Earth frequencies.
Yeah, which eventually a true physical split will take place of the people. Okay, and so here we have the old Earth with the electromagnetic sphere that is dissolving, and what that means is structures are dissolving. As you can see, the government, economical, social structures, educational systems. It's all, and as you know, it's all dissolving, and that's dissolving along with the old Earth field. And we're doing that. We're breaking it down. Us new light workers, not new angelics, light workers, twin flames, indigo, star seeds, rainbow, crystal children are the new.
Yeah. So what's the new world going to look like? How's it going to manifest? I mean,
It's harmony and peace on earth, kindness, love. And
it really is.
It really is. Where there's no lower vibrational frequencies won't be sustained there.
So, okay, so let's go into your then teaching people how they can start to raise their frequencies so they can activate their light potential and step into the new grid. How would you say to do that?
Okay, so in order to maintain a higher frequency, it starts on a focus on mind, body, spirit cleansing. So you can start with your physical being as well as your mental, emotional, and etheric bodies. And you you sustain this higher vibration by cleaning out anything that doesn't belong anymore through nutrition, through your thoughts, through who you surround yourself with, through spending time in nature and becoming one with who you truly are. And as well as meditation is very important. And just living your life as a positive being and being responsible for what you're co-creating. So whatever it is you're thinking, feeling, and words are very powerful to actually manifest in the physical. So everything that is coming out of you, that you're exuding, you want it to be high level vibration, because we're responsible for the new earth and we've created it. We've actually created it. It's here. And now it's up to us to maintain and sustain.
So what's the first thing we should do? Like, so step one.
Step one, I'll go by how I did it, is
Okay.
first to physically cleanse and detoxify your body.
Mm-hmm. Physically cleanse, detoxify. Okay.
Through nutrition, exercise, meditation, and nature.
Okay, that's step one. We get cleaned out. We're pure, and this goes along with the new electromagnetic grid, because we can only maintain the new grid if we're in that clean state.
Yeah.
Okay, then step two would be?
Clearing and detoxifying the mental, emotional, etheric body.
That's a little harder, right? How do we, because I think a lot of people have this negative talk to themselves, and also, how do you shift your internal dialogue?
It's work. You have to practice.
And practice means what?
When you catch yourself saying something negative to anyone or yourself, you have to replace it with a positive. And time again, when you practice this, you become perfect at that.
Okay. So you're cleaning your physical, you're cleaning your mental, and what's the next step?
So a mental, emotional, you're clearing out any toxic relationships out of your life, okay, whatever that may be. That's very important.
And what if you don't know if they're toxic or not?
Eventually you'll get, as you raise your vibration, you'll learn what does not feel good with you.
Because I think people don't know. So a non-toxic a relationship that's supportive based on love, as opposed to abuse or whatever it is.
Yeah, so an example, if you feel good around somebody,
Yes.
then you know it's a good relationship. If you have to tap into your feelings. So you're coming from the heart at this point, and that's another step, is no longer thinking with your brain logically so much and following your heart.
I think that's a big step,
That's
is to
the
follow the feelings and not try to think, you know, well, maybe this doesn't make sense. I feel like I should go visit this person or go to this city, and like, you don't know why. It doesn't make sense, but if you're being told that, then maybe
you're following your intuition, your heart guidance, and your higher self.
Okay, so that's the fourth step. And then what else do we do? How does that all, so we cleared out, and then how does that work in increasing our vibration?
Then we meditate and we tap into the higher realms.
Oh, okay. So we sit, is there a type of meditation we do?
Well, you can start off by connecting with the soul star of the earth.
What does that mean?
It's the center of the earth, which is a soul star. So you can picture it as a sun in the earth.
Okay.
Okay. And so you ground yourself on the earth. Literally, you think of yourself with roots growing into the earth.
Oh, okay.
And for a long time, a lot of teachers have connected people to the silver light of the earth. But we're in the new earth now. So we're connecting to a soul star as well as a rainbow diamond frequency. And we're raising that into the roots and bring it into our system, into our heart.
Oh, so why don't you lead people in that meditation? Because instead of just talking about that, I think if you actually did that for people, they would have a really good experience.
Actually, people have been asking to me.
Why don't you do that right now?
Okay. First, what we're going to do is we're going to sit with our spine straight and our shoulders back and take a few deep breaths. And just keep your eyes closed and connect your feet into the ground of the earth. You could be on grass, and then you connect your roots, which can be a color of white or red earth, connecting down through the elements of the earth, the sand, the rocks, all the elements. Keep going further and further down until you connect to the soul star, which is like a shining bright sun inside the center of the earth. And also you can visualize rainbow frequencies coming up. So you raise that light up through your body. So first it comes up through all the elements of the earth, the rocks, the dirt, everything that's buried in the earth. And then raise it up to the roots in the strong roots that have grown into the earth. You can picture these as thick roots like a tree. Raise them up, bring it into your body, and visualize this light, white gold light coming up your body into the heart space and expanding the heart. Then you go into the soul star above your chakra system. So in the 13th chakra, you have a beautiful, bright, bright light of golden light. And bring that in through your crown. And just breathe and really feel it coming in and your body absorbing all this light. And then take it into your crown. And then once it comes down through your third eye, your brain, and then into your throat and into your heart, it expands further. So now you have a big, huge light exuding from your heart space. And once you're done that, then you're going to visualize a violet light structure being built around the bottom of your feet. It's like a chamber of violet light. Raise that chamber up around your body into a temple above the crown, and that there is protecting you, the violet light, very powerful for protection as well as exuding the light. And then from there you can surround yourself with a rainbow Merkaba. So it's like a frequency of rainbow lights that are just zipping around you in the shape of a star Merkaba, and it's encasing your whole light field. And by the way, depending on how large your light field is, you can take it from the size of 10 feet circumference around you, or you can take it as big as the earth. I usually surround the earth with my light. And then from there, so just stay in that light and absorb it for a long while. This is going to up the light body in your body. And then, eventually, after sitting there for as long as you like, clearing out anything. So before we actually call upon the source light, I'm going to ask Archangel Metatron to come with his Metatronic disc and come down our chakra field, starting from our 13th chakra, all the way down, and just spin and rotate really fast our whole field to clear out whatever does not belong. So you just visualize this happening. And this Metatron's cube coming down and clearing away every chakra. And so you keep going through this until it's cleared. You'll know when it's clear. And then we connect to source energy, God creator. And that is the huge, huge sun of the light of sun. And that beam of light comes down into our crown and expands our light even further. And then from there, you've just heightened your light body. You do this every day, twice a day, and you're being responsible with your light.
Well, you know, I feel the activation of my crown chakra. I feel like a tingling. It's like we're actually becoming what we're visualizing.
Especially now, manifestation.
I really feel different.
Do you?
I do
Good,
feel a
we
little
did.
altered. Yeah, I feel like a
Awesome.
little spaced out or
Lighter.
light. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that's the light, right?
Yeah.
So I do.
If you ever feel too spaced out, then you ask whoever it is you communicate with, higher self, angels, God, please lower it a bit, because it can really lighten you up.
It's nice. It's a great feeling. So this is your work now in the world, is to start to activate people's light body.
Yeah, so I work with light beings as well as my higher self, which is very directly from source. And through even my work of videos, the light will be transmissioned that way.
Right.
So yeah.
I think I started to see some light. Actually, looking at the video, I was seeing your light field. So
Yeah.
are you being like directed through your life by who? By what? You're just...
I had an experience where I had a light being, which some people call it walk-in,
Yeah.
come into my crown chakra and braid with me for a number of months in order to
Braid with you?
the energy.
What do you mean braid?
So I felt another being living with me for a number of months that I had to learn to live with.
Like
literally.
etheric beings that
Yeah.
were with you, and you were, and that was there to teach you to start to change your physical.
My frequency was really hugely raised, and I had to learn how to. I just felt like a totally different person for about a year.
So this being was with you for a year?
I would say. Yeah.
And then you said, see you around?
Yep.
And you were different. You
Yeah,
changed.
that's when I was totally put on my mission, where my higher self was completely integrated in my body and in the driver's seat.
Wow.
Like, so I guess you could say Seishore Grace.
Seishore Grace is,
Yeah.
is who we are here. So you're going to be traveling around the country.
Well, first I'm going to release my first book.
Oh, what is your first book? Yes.
Well, I think it's going to be, basically it's going to be about my life experiences from awakening to who we truly are, and then how over the past 7 or so years I've grown into a higher dimensional being where I am actually an angelic here on earth in a physical body. But first and foremost, I'm an angelic being.
But isn't everyone an angelic being, or no?
I don't think everyone's angelic. There's
Okay.
different races among us of extraterrestrials and angelic beings and pure humans.
How can people reach you? I mean,
I have I host a YouTube channel to help inspire people, and it's called ownmindbodyspirit.com.
this is so exciting.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shelly.
Thank you.
Thanks for your, your volunteering
Yeah.
to help raise the frequency of the planet. And
Thank
I mean, I guess you didn't volunteer. You were, it was like.
I was catapulted here, but now I'm.
I mean, what else would you be doing, right?
Exactly. Once you know your mission, you don't turn back.
And so it's really satisfying knowing your mission, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a whole new world.
Wow. If you want to reach me, go to my website, newrealities.com. I love to hear comments and other people who are having this similar activations. I'm trying to get them all together. I'm trying to create like a network of activated light beings that will then spread their light around the planet. So you just met one, but there's many more out there.